Hello indie game fans! As promised, since the Wholesome Direct featured so many games, I had to split my picks into 2 videos, so here's part 2 with 14 more cozy indie games to look forward to. Let's begin with Cat Cafe Manager, one that's pretty self-explanatory in the title, where you run your own cafe, hiring staff and taking care of both your customers and the cats. It does look wonderful, but the cartoony characters contrast quite nicely with the detailed character portraits, but how's this for getting all warm and fuzzy inside? I love the look of Woodo, a 3D puzzle game that simply looks adorable. It's akin to the wooden toys that children play with, all translated very nicely into a digital format, and is one of the best looking games of the entire presentation. However, this is just a teaser with no gameplay shown off, so I have no idea how this plays, but apparently this is a puzzle game where it could be about placing items or finding them like a hidden object game. Regardless, such a cute looking game where I especially love the food items in this, making this one to watch. A curious little pixel art title is the wonderful looking Recolit, an adventure game where you play as an astronaut that crash lands near a mysterious town, having to help the mysterious residents by following the light. It does seem a little creepy, as if these people are spirits or something, where light and shadow is one of the main mechanics. Still, having shown up in the Wholesome Direct, I don't think it's a scary game by any means, so wishlist this and uncover the secrets of the town when it releases. Another long in development title resurfaced with Wytchwood, a crafting life sim title where you play as the old witch of the woods, brewing potions and casting spells in order to show a capricious cast of characters the errors of their ways, coming to us from the developer of Cryptarch and Apotheon, which makes it of note. One of the most gorgeous games during the presentation is Sally, one where you play as a child on board an airship, having to keep it running by crafting items, cooking food, and helping the crew members on board. From the dev log on YouTube, it seems to be most similar to Spiritfarer, but less sad, where the ship travels and goes on adventures, making it a title to keep an eye on. I thought that it was a little strange that the show kicked off with Bird Problems, a game that is inspired by sitcoms down to having a built-in audience laugh track, but it did feel a little oddly paced for the opener of the show. It's about an awkward and anxious canary trying to make friends, something that I'm sure many of us can identify with, although I do wonder how the gameplay portion will fit into this, seeming as though you have to make dialogue option choices and to see how it plays out, where hopefully the comedy and jokes will be able to come through the screen. One look at the Gecko Gods and you're immediately filled with amazement due to how gorgeous it looks, being a 3D puzzle platformer with an art style that does look very much like Sable. You're exploring an ancient island where civilization lost to time once lived there, having to solve ancient puzzles, eat bugs, and climb across all surfaces all on a quest to save your friend. The 3D puzzle platformer isn't all that common, with the side-scrolling variant being a dime a dozen in indie games, making this a nice change of pace. A wonderful looking witch simulator RPG is Witchy Life Story, one where you play as an apprentice witch in a sleepy little village. It's a little bit more visual novel in nature, where you can interact with the townspeople and choose whether or not to help them with their harvest festival, and thus have one of the best art styles of the presentation.
So what you trying to say? Things never felt the same. Now you're moving on the last. Your smile's engraved. Roll dice, take a hit for the day.
Another quick hit with the Outbound Ghost, a sweet-looking adventure game about a ghost trying to figure out the cause of their own death, with a fantastic Paper Mario-like design for the characters. I did crack a smile when Passpartout 2 The Lost Artist was revealed, since the original had the nickname MS Paint Story Mode and had you playing as a street artist trying to make ends meet. The fascinating thing about games like this is how the game judges and values your art, where I'm very curious about the back end of things, if it's completely random or if there are some criteria to be fulfilled, where the subjective nature of art is the big question mark here. I do wonder how this will differ from the original, but good job by the developers for getting me intrigued. Not sure if I've mentioned Venba on the channel before, but this is a beautiful cooking game about Indian immigrants in Canada in the 1980s, using the medium of food and cooking to tell its story. The recipes are authentic, so you may want to try making these yourself, with a wonderful look and intriguing slice of life story to be told. Add one more witchy life sim title to the list with Witchery Academy, one where you play as a wizard's apprentice, having to grow crops, brew potions, cast spells, and so much more. You can befriend the other apprentices, catch and collect spell creatures, and even go bug catching outdoors, so think of it as a magical academy Stardew Valley and you get the idea. Apico is one of the most epical games in development since it's a management sim about beekeeping, having you collecting, breeding, and conserving bees, where we all know how important these are to our natural ecosystem, so kudos to the team for helping to spread even more awareness. I love the simple pixel art of this, which, put simply, just works, but the extensive biomes and areas to explore looks neat. And while it does delve into the fantastical with the different species of bees, it's still a game that I'm excited for and a real no-brainer pick. We round off with Moonshell Island, a Zelda-style action-adventure title where you're fighting off mutant vegetables to save the island. Not so wholesome, but as a fan of the genre, I cannot say no, taking the #1 spot. For more Zelda-style action-adventure titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.